Good morning, Hampton Roads. How's everybody doing today? And welcome to Virginia's only local real estate investing podcast, where we get to talk about local investors, local deals, and all things local. I'm your host, the founder of the Master Investor Academy, and author of my best-selling book, Work Just Gets in the Way of Making Money, Scott Jelinek. How's everybody doing today? If you have any questions, comments, concerns, things you'd like to discuss, properties you would like to sell, go ahead and text me directly at 757-699-4227. That's 757-699-4227. So it is a beautiful day, although our temperatures seem to have gone down a little bit, but we are sunny. I think about 60 degrees today. So at least we're moving in the right direction slowly but surely. I had a fantastic day. I got that closing done that I was telling you about, and I could not wait to tell you guys the details of it. And then I want to also tell you, actually, I'm going to tell you about it first. So I got another two deals that are not signed yet. So I'm going to tell you about them after they're signed. But we've verbally agreed, and as soon as I'm done talking to you guys right now, I'm going to type up the contracts and send them over. Well, if everything goes smooth with these, two things I wanted to tell you about it. One is there's two properties. One's going to end up being a hold. It's a slow flip type property. The other I will probably just buy and then turn around and list it, and I should make anywhere from $40,000 to $60,000 on it. But that's not the part I wanted to tell you. The part I wanted to tell you is it came from Deal Machine. And I cannot stress it enough, because I talk to you guys and then sometimes people are like, oh, I didn't do it. I don't want to spend $49 a month. And I get it. But I'm telling you, if you want to be in this business and you want to do deals, that is the cheapest way to have a foot in the door and be doing deals. And I have that coupon code for you, so you guys can get 15 free credits, and that coupon code is FREE15, FREE15. But if you do not have the Deal Machine app and you are out and about, when you see these rundown houses, when you see the vacant looking houses, when you see the high grass and distressed properties, you need to be able to look at it right there on the spot, see if it has value, if it has equity. And if it does, all you have to do is hit start mailers, and it starts getting postcards from you. So it's the easiest way to get a foot in the door and start doing deals. And it is, some people complain that $49 a month is a lot. I get it, but not compared to what you can turn around and make with it. So if in fact I get these two contracts signed today, which I believe I will, I'll tell you the story about them tomorrow. But they're fantastic deals. But it really just stuck in my head again about saying, if you don't have Deal Machine, you need to go ahead and get it. Actually, I have a link. If you're listening, if you're watching this on the YouTube video, I actually put a link down below. And the coupon code is FREE15, FREE15. And if you're on the podcast, you can just go right in the App Store to the Deal Machine app and type in the coupon code, and you'll get 15 free credits. But if you don't have it already, if you have it already, obviously just make sure you use it. The other side to that is having the app is not enough. Having the access to it is not enough. You have to actually use it when you're out and about. When you see those houses, which we all do, you probably drive by some every single day. You need to be taking the 2 seconds out of your time, click the button, and start the mailing process. All right. So now I want to tell you guys about my deal that I just closed. And I think it may very well be the best deal I have ever done. And I know I've said that a few times. I've had some really good deals. If you guys remember that commercial building I did, I had $0 invested in it. After I sold off the side lots, I basically got the building for free, and I collect $5,000 a month on it. So I loved that whole deal. I was always saying that was my favorite deal I've ever done. I think this is my new favorite deal. So let me tell you about this deal. This was a package of houses. So I bought a package of 8 properties in Norfolk, Virginia. And these are all occupied properties. They're rentals. And these are not like our typical slow flips where we're talking $30,000, $40,000 houses. These houses are probably valued, if you were to resell on the retail market, probably about 180, maybe a little less on some and a little more on some, but I would say average about 180. Well, so I bought these 8 houses. I bought them for a combined total of $525,000. And I believe, you guys can calculate for me, but I believe that comes out to right around $65,000 each. So using the 180, it puts me right around $1 million in equity. So mind you, equity, you can't eat equity. I get it. So, but that's equity. So $1 million in equity from one deal. But on top of that, as I turn these properties now, they have old tenants in them. Some of them have been there 16, 18 years and have never had a rent increase, which is part of the reason why I got the value add opportunity here. I bought them based on what they are producing, not what they can produce. So now I got to turn them. 3 of them are coming vacant, so those will be nice and easy. The other ones, I'm going to give them an opportunity if they want to buy from me on the slow flip program. If not, they'll have 90 days notice. Well, they're going to turn into about $5,000 a month positive cash flow. So I will get about $5,000 a month positive cash flow and $1 million in equity. But I didn't tell you the best part yet. So the best part is I bought this package. I bought this entire deal with $0 out of pocket, $0, and complete owner financing. So it's amortized for 10 years. You guys know I normally like to do 5 years on my slow flips, but these are higher dollar properties. So there was no way to make it work in 5 years. Plus the seller, we had to meet the seller's needs as well. And he wants the monthly payments. So, and we're going to talk about the seller in a minute too, how this is a win-win. We do things to work for both parties. This is not just Scott wins and everyone else loses. So I tried, it didn't work on the 5-year program. So I did it on a 10-year program. So 10 years amortized, meaning, so I'm going to cash flow about $5,000 a month right now. And then in 10 years, and I know that sounds like a long time away, we're talking 2031, May of 2031 will be my last payment. But then it'll go up by my payments right around $5,000 a month. So that at that time, it'll go up another $5,000 a month in positive cash flow. Unbelievable, fantastic deal. If you think about $0 out of pocket, which means anybody could have done it. If you had the knowledge and you did the leads and the follow-up, this deal has been working for about 3 years through follow-up. So let's start there. If you have the leads, you do the marketing and the follow-up, anybody could have done this deal because it didn't require you to come up with $500,000. It didn't require any credit. It didn't require any job verification. All it required was specialized knowledge. That's it. And finding a motivated seller, which is included in the specialized knowledge. So I like to share that because I know sometimes people will watch or listen and they'll think to themselves, yeah, well, that's good for you, but I don't have good credit. Or, yeah, that's great for you, but I don't have any money to invest. And that's why I really was excited to share this with you, because this whole deal is no credit, no money, just knowledge. And absolutely anybody could have done it. One deal, and this is the other part I really wanted to share. One deal, just one deal like this in your entire life, one deal can completely change your life. You may have a job right now making $30,000 a year, $50,000 a year. Who knows what you're making? Just this one deal will produce $60,000 a year. One deal without even going. And then obviously it's going to double once we hit the 10th year. And that's just one deal. And $1 million in equity. Some people go their entire lives and never even save $1 million for retirement. This is from one deal. You're starting off on day one with $1 million in equity. So I want to address a question that's been brought up when I shared this with a friend of mine. He says, well, if you have $1 million in equity and you're only making $5,000 a month positive cash flow, that's $60,000 a year. That's only a 6% return if you were to look at it on the million. You're right. So then he says, well, why wouldn't you just sell it and sell them all and take that million and invest it where you can make a 10, 15, 20% return? All of that is absolutely right, except, and that's what I started to touch on earlier, the seller's needs. The seller didn't want cash. The seller wanted the monthly payments because of his needs. He wants the monthly cash flow. He didn't want to be taxed. And so I would never sell them now until a minimum of the 10 years, because we didn't put in a prepayment or we didn't do anything that I'm not allowed to, but I wouldn't do it because I know his motivation was he wanted these monthly payments to last for the 10 years. And so I wouldn't sell him or prepay him or pay him off or refinance or any of that until at least my 10 years are up, so that he got everything that he wanted, which is why he sold it in the first place, for the monthly payments, alleviate the headaches. It was an out-of-state seller on the properties here. So I think this has taken the feather right now for my favorite deal. Now, mind you, I did do a package where I bought 24 houses. At the time, I was real nervous on those. They've turned out to be a huge blessing. And I'm down to, those I financed over 5 years, and I'm down to about 24 months left on those till they're paid off. And they're massively cash flowing now as well. And that's another deal with no money. And, but we'll talk about that another time if I haven't talked about it already. But so that brings my total up now. I believe I have 125 houses now. 123, and I have 2 more pending, plus these 2 we're talking about now, but I think I'm going to sell those. So 125 houses right now, and my ultimate goal right now, for the time being, is to get to 167. And I know I shared with you guys how I came up with that number, but that was after doing all my analysis with taxes, insurance, vacancies. I always try and estimate really low, I know, but I try and estimate $500 per month per property. And at 167, that makes me $1 million a year before I get up in the morning, which is kind of where I'm pushing for that goal. I want to get to $1 million a year before I wholesale a deal, before I do any training, before I do any kind of deals. That's just from what I already own. And so that's kind of where I got that number from. That's all I wanted to talk to you guys about today. I wanted to make sure I shared the details of that deal with you. I will share with you as it progresses. Make sure that you do something today that your future self is going to thank you for, even if that something is as small as downloading that app, Deal Machine. Just download the app and start generating leads. Don't forget, use the coupon code FREE15, FREE15. So at least try it. If you don't like it, just hit delete and end it. But you will get deals from it. It's one of those things that you're almost guaranteed, as long as you do your part, which is the work, looking for distressed properties, inputting them, and start the mailers. So anyway, do something today your future self's going to thank you for. Set yourself free, and the world is going to stop and ask you how. Have an absolutely fantastic day, and I look forward to talking to you guys soon.